What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. I'm replacing Ryan today, not replacing permanently, but just filling in, I should say, not replacing. I'm Shannon Tynes, and I'm here with Chris Abacon. How's it going, Chris?
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be here.
Awesome. So we did the articles this week. We did the one about the wanted Russian hacker. If you tune in on Monday, you got that one right. The new Rockstar 2FA phishing service, right? That was Tuesday's episode. The discussion was the UK seeking collaboration for security concerns with AI, right? And now we're here for, what we call the rundown, right? Like we just talk about everything, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Doesn't necessarily have to, revolve around cybersecurity. We usually get away from it a little bit and say how we relaxed this week. But Chris, let's start with you, man. What'd you do this week? How was your week?
Yeah, so obviously it was Thanksgiving, right? We had a great time at Thanksgiving with the family. We ate lamb, right? So my family likes to eat lamb in addition to turkey, right? So it was really good. We did some smoked lamb, sirloin. I mean, just fantastic, right? So my mother-in-law makes this amazing like honey cake, right? It's just like it's an Eastern European thing, and it's just like it's outstanding, right? I think it's like popular in Russia, Ukraine, in that region, but it's essentially just like it's honey and it's delicious. That's all I could say. So Thanksgiving was fantastic. Did a little bit of Black Friday shopping. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing huge. Because like I already got my TVs. I already got my monitors that I have. So it's like, what else can I get? Like my Apple Watch is still working, right? I could buy a Garmin. Like, do I really need it? Not really. I really don't. Maybe once my Apple Watch like forks over and in the next like few months, I might buy one there. But it's just one of those like, I don't want to buy something just because it's like on a sale, right? And also some of these retailers are deceptive. They'll say it's on sale, but they'll just increase the suggested retail price, right? During like this week or, this last few months, right? The year. And they'll just say, oh, look, it's on sale, guys. Actually you guys increased the price of it like last week. And then now you just brought it back down to the a different sale price. So just be careful of that, shopping smartly, right? There's a lot of predatory actions going on. So just be careful when you're buying some of this stuff. Random thing, we have this air filter that we have. It's by a company called Rabbit Air, but it's very good. It's a very expensive air filter. It helps with because I've got allergies, right? So it's really good on that. Got a new filter for it. So those filters are like $100 replacement. It was on sale. Yeah, exactly. Once a year, $100. But
once a year?
Yeah, once a year.
Okay,
they're expensive, right? But
I'm saying it's like a 3-month filter for like $100. I was like,
no, it's like once a year. But it's pretty good. There's areas that you can clean, right? You can vacuum it and do that and that. But it's an outstanding filter. Like it's whenever I cook like Asian food, anything like that with curry. I mean, I need to turn the thing on because it's crazy. But that was on sale Black Friday, right? What else do we get? Electric toothbrushes. Yeah, electric toothbrushes. Time to convert to something more fancy.
Something, Chris. Like I keep being told, right? And my sister-in-law is a hygienist, right? And she'll definitely tell me, like, the electric toothbrushes are the way to go. But I can't get used to it. I've tried it in the past, and I keep just wanting to do this manual motion thing, and like with it, it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know.
Right.
I don't have any problems with my teeth or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm good with my manual that I've been doing for the last 40 plus years.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
but it it definitely breaks down the plaque better, right? So it's pretty awesome. I think it's got some benefits to it. What else? Started decorating for Christmas, right? So I've got up that way you can see my half decorated Christmas tree. It's like, oh, we got to go to storage and still finish up, but at least the Christmas tree is up, right? So it's got lights and everything, so it's already nice, but it needs a little bit more love from us, but it's there. It's on the way.
You actually waited till after Thanksgiving. You're late, man. Like if you
waited. We are late. That the thing is, we had to actually get a new Christmas tree, right? Because our old one was like 6 years old, whatever it was, and it was just not looking good anymore. But we had ordered one, and it got here probably 2 weeks ago. But it was a 7-foot Christmas tree, but we didn't account for the fact that it was like 53 inches in diameter, right? I'm like, this is huge. It's like completely blocking the doorway. So we had to return that one and order a new one. So that took another week. The tree literally arrived this past Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So it's like, you know what? I guess this is time for me to start. It's better late than never. At least I got the tree up before freaking December, right? But this one's only like 6.5 feet. I wish it was 7 feet, but the diameter is like 40 inches or so. So it's like a little bit more manageable in the space that we have designated for it. But yeah, a little bit of Christmas shopping, gifts and stuff like that. Pretty cool. On the media side of the house, we've been rewatching the Harry Potter movies. So it's like our tradition, kind of just started that and, through the fourth movie. Love it. That shift from the second to the third movie is great because it gets darker and The Prisoner of Azkaban, right? It's just because the direction goes different, but it's still fantastic. And now that I'm older, watching it for like the 8th time, I still enjoy it. It's like a part of our Christmas tradition or the holiday tradition. The Great British Bake Off just finished its current season, so the winner, congratulations to that winner. But it was very tense because if you ever watched the show, it's like the person that you want to win, right, is usually like not doing as well as the person that's ahead, right? And then in our case, we the person that we wanted to win did win, so it's a good thing. And then sports, Vikings, they're doing pretty well, right? So we had a little scare against the Bears. They freaking caught up. I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
They caught up and with an onside kick, and we were able to tie the game and go into overtime. But we won in overtime. We were watching the Bears during Thanksgiving, and that like missed field goal, or rather, they let the clock run out and said, what is wrong with them, right? What is wrong with them? I mean, the coach did get fired, right, which was unprecedented. But Bears are going to be Bears.
Done it. And the thing is, they've never done it in the history of their organization where they fired a season. But I said it, like after that game finished, I sent you guys a message. I was like, this will get this guy fired. Like enough at this point. Like and I had known because they had talked about it. They were like, this guy doesn't deserve to be there anymore. He's got too much talent. They're losing. But then he just kept playing. I was like, this will be it. And the very next day.
Right.
Gone.
Yeah, so up and coming game. I think Vikings will be playing Arizona today, actually. So that should be a fun game. Hopefully, we've never lost to Arizona at home. So it should be good. And Minnesota Gophers, Penn State pulled through, by a point. But you know what? I predicted Penn State to win. But the fact that it was that close to me was like, I'm happy. I'm happy with the result, right? But I think you guys are ranked 4 now, and dude, we were within a point of beating you guys, so I'm happy with that.
So we are ranked 4. When the new rankings come out, we'll probably jump up to 3. I'm thinking up to 3, but we'll see what happens. We're going to end up playing Oregon. We are playing Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. I got a coworker, that's an Oregon fan that. We were talking mess. He was like, hey, man, we're not friends no more. He sent me a text like,
yeah.
We're not friends no more.
Is that next week? No.
Next
you
week?
guys are...
Yes, it is. Next week. This
against Oregon, right?
Against Oregon at Lucas Stadium in Indianapolis. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's a good time. This last, 2 months of college football is the best, right? We're getting close. Everybody's got their records, and it's like, hey, these are kind of like make or break games for the playoffs, right?
Right.
But yesterday, we did pull out, and so the most important game to me personally is the Wisconsin and Gophers and Minnesota game, and we got the axe, Holman's axe this past week, so we're very happy with that. So to me, this season was a victory. Yeah, I would like to be in the top 25, but I think we had some key losses that kind of prevented us from being there. We're probably 2 or 3 losses. If we had won maybe 2 or 3 more games, we'd probably be in the top 25.
Sure.
For sure. But we're almost there. But it's. I think there's a lot. The parity in college football has gotten a lot better in this. SEC is kind of they're not in the top 4, right? I think they're not.
So Texas is still
Texas
SEC. That's so they're number 2. They're going to stay number 2.
Fake SEC. I don't believe Texas is SEC.
It's only been a couple of years, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's kind of been my week. It's been pretty fun, right? And yeah, and having this nice 4-day weekend is very, very relaxing. Oh, one last thing. I ran 7 miles yesterday. So I'm up to 7 miles. I'll be running a half marathon in February, the Gasparilla half, and that's 13.1, right? So I'm more than halfway there through my training. But the idea for me is increase by 1 mile every Saturday. Next week to be 8 and 9. And by Christmas, I should be running 10 on continuously, right, on that one day. But I usually try to run 20, 25 miles a week. And so what I'm doing is I'm tapering up, trying to get to 30 miles a week by mid-January. So I'm ready for that half marathon to really fine tune my speed and things like that. But there's nowhere near where I was when I was in the service, right? So it's like, I'm doing it slowly. It's difficult when you're not like running with a bunch of runners and it's like, man, that guy's fast, I need to beat him. Or she's fast, I need to beat her, You don't get that unless, I don't have a time for running group or anything like that here just yet. But, we'll see. That should be fun. But that's been my week. I'm very sore.
So it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know how you can do it after filling up on turkey and lamb and honey cake. And like, I don't know how you could bring yourself 2 days later to go and be running.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do it the next day. I was like, no way. But the day after, I feel like the leftover sugars I had, in my body were like, you need to get this. You need to run.
You didn't have any leftovers?
No, we did.
Okay.
We did. But it's like, I didn't eat as much on Friday, right? So it's like, hey, I ate way too much on Thursday. I need to cut it down. I didn't even eat till lunch because I was so full.
That's kind of how it goes, right? Like we use Thanksgiving as an excuse to gorge ourselves,
Exactly.
I mean? Like people love the holiday, right? But like for me, I'm like, I can eat, I can throw down, but like the way people do it on Thanksgiving, like I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go that route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you.
I feel so gorged, this, that, and the third, and they're proud of it. And I'm like, yo, don't you feel miserable? Yeah, I feel miserable, but I ate so much on Thanksgiving.
No way, yeah. I try to sample everything, right, first. I'm like, okay, I'll have a little bit of everything. Then I'm like, I go for seconds and like, oh, I really like this cranberry sauce.
Whatever you like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, it's crazy, man. You making it happen, though, man. I had a joke with my wife. I was like, man, ever since I retired, like, my closet has been shrinking my clothes. I don't know what's going on. We got to figure out this closet. My clothes, what's going on? But same type of thing, right? Like if you're not doing your PT, your 3, 4, 5 times a week, whatever, right? Like knowing a PT test is coming up, you got to, get right. Yep. Like I don't got any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and it's not like, people at work out. Like you don't have an accountability buddy at work, right? And me, mostly remote. It's like, okay, I really don't work out with anybody, right?
Right.
So it's like versus when you're, you see your one of your troops, dude, this kid just ran like 10 miles and he smoked. I can't let him beat me. I was one of those guys. I just smoked a freaking 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds in the PT test. That was me.
Wow. Good on you. Good on you. You out here doing half marathons when you don't have to. So yeah. You and another.
I'm doing it for fun. What's wrong with me?
Whatever keeps you going, man. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like, the college football, Penn State, they made it to the championship because Michigan upset Ohio State, right? So Michigan went ahead and took care of business. So we're in the game now. We're in the Big Ten championship game. So like I said, my coworker, he's an Oregon fan, and he was like,
wow,
we're not friends anymore. And I was like, look, I don't even know why you're talking to me right now. I was like, anything you need from me, you need to send a request, file it. Send me an electronic mail, print it out in triplicate. You know what I mean? And then I'll get to you in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
But no, so like we'll see how this week goes. We'll probably be talking mess back and forth because he sits next to me. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We're not going to be able to avoid each other.
Yeah.
We are coworkers doing the same job.
Exactly.
But no, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be, the jokes are going to come hard and heavy, right? So it's going to be great. Today, my Ravens are playing the Eagles. I'm a little nervous about this because Saquon is crazy.
It's going to be crazy. It's one of those bird games, the Eagles and Ravens.
So, yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, that's how I always get down. I do my best to watch it. Like, I don't have Sunday Ticket or anything like that, but I can watch NFL Network. And it shows a lot of the highlights from the games that are going on around the league.
This is one of those like Super Bowl preview, like potential Super Bowl preview matches, right?
It could be, man, but I think last year was our year to really do it. Like, if we had the Super Bowl, it was last year, and we just lost ourselves playing the match.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Like, we didn't do this all year that got us to the number 1 seed overall. Why are we throwing the ball 41 times now? Like, why do that? And that game was like 10-17, if I remember
right,
in score on that one. So it's like, it's not like they blew us out or anything. And we had a shot. Like we fumbled it away. Like we had a fumble going into the end zone. It was crazy. And then they got us again the beginning of this year, and it's because, Isaiah Likely's cleats are this much too long, So it's like,
well, as a NFC guy, I am definitely rooting for you guys to beat the Eagles. I need the Eagles to be
the same record, right?
Oh, yeah, we're both 9-2. We need them to lose.
Yeah. Okay. So like Minnesota is up there doing it quietly, man. Like you don't hear a lot of people talking. Like everybody's
talking. The thing is, Minnesota's games, our teams aren't like that good, right? I think our first half of the year was more difficult, right? But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
We're gonna try to take care of it for you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're doing it for you, not for us.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll be watching that today. What media did I take in? So I tried to get back into the Day of the Jackal. So like I had stopped in the second episode, started playing. I got like another 20 minutes in, and I'm like, this isn't feeling in for me. I want to finish the episode because like it's one of those things where I talked about this last week. Like they do a good job of getting you in the beginning, and then it's just like they start doing all this. But like every once in a while, I'll do something. I'm like, okay, this could go somewhere, and then it like abandons it and goes somewhere else, and I'm like, what are we doing here? So I'm gonna try to watch it. I'm gonna try to get through. And I said this last week. My thing used to be 3 episodes. That would be my barometer on what I'm gonna do. Man, like I kind of know. I usually know within the first episode, but I'm like, give it 3, right? Because it can happen. I know. When I started watching, this was years ago, but like WandaVision, right? Like the first 3 episodes, somebody told me there was like the first 3 episodes, get through it. Like it is not good in the first 3, but it'll get better as it goes on. And it did. So I was like, okay, maybe 3's a good medium. I don't know. We'll see. But I know you said you started rewatching, some stuff that you already watched. I'm doing the same thing with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I'm
for sure.
Rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, man. It's hilarious. So like when I watched it a few months ago, Netflix only had the first 4 seasons. It's kind of weird. I think it's 7 or 8 seasons. So I didn't get to watch the second half. So now I picked up at season 5, which is on Peacock. I started watching through those. So it's a good show, man. It's a hilarious show for anybody out there that likes to laugh. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is hilarious. But started watching that. What else did I watch? I sat down with the wife. Like we've had more time together, you know what I mean, with time off and whatnot. And got into Dr. Odyssey some more. And the thing is, like, she knows I don't like it. So whenever she comes down and takes the time to spend time with me, right? Like, hey, I got some free time. I'm like, all right, let's watch something together. Like, what do you want to watch? And she was like, well, you don't like anything I want to watch. I was like, you know what? Because I like you, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I like you a little bit, wife. 20 plus years, But yeah, so yeah, we sat and watched Dr. Odyssey a little bit. She's feeling it a little bit more than I am, but hey, again, we're spending time together, right? So that's all that matters. We're just being right. You get to a point where just being around that other person, like sometimes it's enough, just knowing you're here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be enjoying what's on TV, but that one, Brilliant Minds is the other one, right? I keep waiting for the main character to do something very Spock-like because he plays Spock in the J.J. Abrams that did the new Star Trek movie.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, so the one, Zachary Quinto is his name, but I keep waiting him to do some Spock stuff, man, because like that's another one I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
It's what it is. But, so yeah, I watched a little bit of that. But yeah, like I said, it's just about getting in the time, to be with the significant other that I enjoy a lot more of. I tell you what, I'm getting more excited like for the college football season because of the new playoff system, right? So they got 12 teams, what I mean? Doing this year, and I'm like, man, I want to see how this is going to shake out. I want to see how they do this. Like, I know how they've done the explanation, but like the committee still has to rank who's going to go where in there, right? And it could be one of those things where even if someone's not in the top 12, like when it comes to the rankings, like they may have somebody else that's lower ranked in there, right? Because they tend to have an SEC bias. They have in the past.
For sure.
Teams, they've had an SEC bias, and the SEC has not been as strong, right? Like we kind of talked. You kind of alluded to this a little bit, talking about SEC and, what's going on there. You don't have like 4 teams at the top of the rankings that are SEC teams,
Yeah.
So
I think it's fantastic, first of all. Like,
I think
SEC like, dominance is over.
Yeah. But the parity you talked about, like, I think it might be one of those things where it could be the NIL money, it could be the transfer portal, to where you don't have these conferences that are as strong, as they used to be. Like even the Big Ten, like some of the teams that were in the Big Ten, Like they
Right.
fall off a little bit, but again, like they've been successful, right? So what happens when you have success, right? People leave, like Coach Harbaugh, right? And then you have, I want to say Michigan had like 12 players from their starting
It's
offensive
8 teams, right, in the playoffs, or
12, 12.
12?
Yeah.
So they increased it to 12?
So it was four. And it was four. They had talked about 8, and then they jumped to 12. So
Okay. So
four,
12 teams. Okay, I see.
So the top four, so the four from the power conferences, the ones that win their conference championships, they're going to get a bye in the first
Okay.
round. So whoever wins the Big Ten, the SEC, ACC, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna get the bye for the first. So then it's going to be whoever they have ranked 5 through 12 will play, right? And then they'll figure it out. Okay, get those four, and then they'll play the four that have the bye that have been sitting, right? And then they'll go from there. But it's 12 teams now, so I'm interested on how this is going to play out, right? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to see more teams in, or they think a team got unjustly denied, right? And this did happen last year. Like FSU was undefeated and did not make the top 4, right?
Right, and then all their guys quit before the game,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
and they're like,
they had their bowl game. They were like, I'm not playing here. Like it's 4-0 at this point.
yeah, like they're gonna get hurt, right? And yeah, I got you.
And here's the thing, like they were prepping for the draft, right? Like at this point, they're like, okay, we did the hard work. We went undefeated. And I have somebody I work with that's a Florida State fan, and he was like, his stance was, yes, they were undefeated. He said, but I don't want to see them get blown out, right? Was his thing. And I was like, well, because they had some losses, right? Like their quarterback went down like 3/4 of the way through the season, and he was having a really good season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they just didn't look as sharp. They were still winning the games. But my point is, if they did their part and they beat everybody put in front of them, put them in the top 4.
Right.
He was like, I don't want to see it. I was like, I think they've worked the 13 games to get there. You know what I mean? Because they even won their championship. They won the ACC championship. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like at first I was like, it doesn't matter, right? Because people are like, I want to see more teams get in, right? Because the undefeated number 5 team from last year didn't make the top 4. They're like, see how unjust that is? I was like, well, it doesn't matter how far you go. Like if you go 12, the people that are 13 and 14 will be like, I should have been in. Well, if you go 16 the year after that, the people that are 17 or 18 will be like, I should have been in, right? So no matter where you snap that chalk line, someone's going to be like, I deserve to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll see how it plays out. I mean, hopefully they get it right, but like my thing is the committee is they're gonna leave somebody out that's probably more deserving because they still have that SEC bias, right? You're gonna have a 3-loss SEC team, right?
Right.
End up being in the top 12, and you're like, you got 2 one-loss teams here that you didn't allow in.
It's probably Georgia, right? Maybe Georgia, because Texas is on the top. They're gonna get the bye at this rate.
Yeah, they're more than likely going to win the SEC championship.
Yeah. And then Georgia, I was going to lose another one, and 3-loss, right? Yeah, I think that's where we're getting at. Yeah, it should be cool. Very cool. Indiana, yeah, Big Ten represent. I just pulled up the people that are in Oregon, Penn State, Indiana, Ohio State, right?
Illinois is down there in the bottom too. I want to say,
yeah, they are. I like seeing that. I like the Big Ten dominance is back.
Yeah, Indiana came out of nowhere. I think that's why Indiana came out of nowhere. Like that, can't remember his name, Samedi or whatever their coach's name is. Everywhere he goes that first year, he turns the program around. But I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Right.
He turned it around pretty good. So, yeah, five Big Ten teams in the top 25, right? So
it's funny. I see SMU on top here. They're like 11-1. SMU got the death penalty at one point, right? They're the ones that were the original. They're like buying players off and crap like that.
Yeah. They have a 30 for 30 called Pony Excess, because they're the ponies, right? Like the SMU is the Mustangs or whatever. I think it is. But yeah, they called it Pony Excess.
Excess, yeah.
It's a pretty good 30 for 30 that they did. If you ever watch it, but like there's players from those teams that are still to this day, like they're very coy about whether or not they got those impermissible, things that they got, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I never got that.
It's like, how'd you end up in Trans Am as a poor college?
Yeah. Now all the college kids are driving nice cars because
with the NIL money, which I'm not against. I'm not against them getting paid for as much as
they deserve it, right?
The universities are making a lot of money off their back, so let them get paid for it. You know what I mean? Because some of them, they may not get drafted, right? This may be the most money they make. You know what I mean? Whether it be through injury or they get drafted and don't hang on past 2 or 3 years, right? Which is like, I want to say like 3.5 is the average, career. For all those quarterbacks you see that go 20, 21, 22 years, there's somebody that doesn't get past their first contract, right? Or is an undrafted free agent that gets a year. You know what I mean? That's more often the case. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. But anyway, we had good weeks, it seems like, right? We ate good for Thanksgiving, right? We enjoyed the family, ate our honey cakes and lambs. That sounds really good, to be like, man, lamb and honey cake.
Yeah.
I might go search out some euros or something today, get some lamb. Yeah. No, that's the rundown, everybody. That's what we did. That's the fun we had, you know what I mean? Hope you guys, enjoyed this week, but just to put it out there, other side of the firewall, we're here for you, we're here for the cyber stuff. We're here to tell you the media that's out there, the stuff that we're doing, right? Don't be afraid to go to the socials and let us know what's going on with you as well, right? But so just check out all the websites, right? They go by the podcast name, Other Side of the Firewall, The Other Side of the FW, Ask a CISSP, or ramcyber.io. You can find Ryan on all of the social media platforms, right? He's at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. Daniel, you can find on LinkedIn under his name, Daniel Acevedo. Chris, where can they find you at, man?
You can find me in LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon, last name spelled Abacon.
That's how they're going to find you. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay secure.